Welcome to the Field of 68 After Dark's YouTube channel. We are going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube and on Stadium for the entirety of the spring. I love Janelle Davis, right? I love Nellie Davis. And I think that adding Jonas Adu is really important to add a five-man that is a veteran to a roster that's going to have a whole bunch of freshmen on it, right? But seeing that Adute Thoreau is now following Cal to Arkansas and seeing that DJ Wagner is now taking a visit to Arkansas and seeing that Cal is basically trying to reproduce the way that he built a roster at Arkansas with Kentucky players, like I just find myself questioning whether or not this whole like Cal has something to prove and he's out to he's old Cal, he's 2009 Cal, this is John Wall Cal that we're going to end up seeing. I just don't know if that's going to be a thing. Like I feel like at some point, you got like the old dog's got to learn a new trick, right?
I disagree. I actually disagree. I think this is the way you put your first team together if you're Cal.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's the way to put every team together, but again, I think if you're going to go in and take 13 new guys or 11 new guys and throw them together and you're at a new spot, that is a recipe for not going deep in the NCAA tournament, period. Like I don't think it works. You know, you're bringing in 3 freshmen. What do you want? You want him to bring in 7 transfers that he's never coached and expect them to be able to mesh it together? I like this. I like bringing in. So is it Little Z or Big Z now? What are we calling him? Because his older brother is going to Illinois now. So he's Little Z.
No, he's Big Z. His brother's name doesn't start with a Z. Yeah, so we got Big
I didn't know
T
that.
and Big Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to do your homework. This is what happens when we bring on Jeff Goodman, who doesn't do his research, who has spent the entire night having a tang party over here. This is what happens when we allow Jeff Goodman on the show.
Here's what I'll say. Again, I like the 3 freshmen. I'm fine with it. I'm so glad he didn't take 5 or 6 of his freshmen with him. And he might not have had that opportunity anyway. That might have not been his decision. That might have been, some of those other guys' decision not to go with him. But he gets 3 freshmen. He brings in Adu and Janelle Davis, 2 guys that are veterans that have produced at other places. And I've told you, I think Janelle is perfect for Calipari. Perfect. Because, again, he's not the easiest dude to coach. We know that. But Calipari has dealt with far more difficult players to coach than Nellie Davis. So that'll be easy for him. Big Z, Little Z.
One day, I need Trevor to go out and just put together a compilation of you saying Janelle Davis is not the easiest player to coach, because I think you've said it in like 17 straight shows.
But we also know how much I love that. Who loves Nellie Davis more than I love Nellie Davis? And I like the fact that in a way he's got some shit to him, right? I love that. That's what makes him Nellie Davis. That's what makes him great, in my opinion. That's what, to me, is going to give Arkansas a chance next year, because you can give him the ball. How many guys are there that, Rob, you can give him the ball and say, hey, you know what? Go get us one. Go get us one, and you feel good about him being able to get you a bucket. Not many.
I mean, there's not many. The only pushback that I would have is that he's not exactly known as a guy that brings in freshmen to keep them around, right? Like he's not someone that's trying to develop a team by having a player on campus for 2 to 3 years. Like you look at I'll go back to UConn again, right? And they bring in these guys, and Steph Castle aside, you're getting like 2, maybe 3 years out of them. And when they leave, they're going to be ready to go play in the NBA. Whereas Cal has in the past used Kentucky as the stopping point for one and dones. And when you bring in these freshmen,
a better coach, but Dan Hurley's a really good coach.
What I'm saying is that you're going to be relying on freshmen in these major roles where there's going to be a certain level of expectation. When let's just face it, like Boogie Fland is a talented point guard, right? He is not Cooper Flagg. Carter Knox can get a bucket. He is not Cooper Flagg. Billy Richmond is a good player. He's from up my way up here in New Jersey, but he's not Cooper Flagg. Like, so I wonder if the impact that they're going to have is going to be in line with the expectation that people are going to have because of the reputation Cal has for the freshmen that he brings in. So, like, look, I think Nelly Davis and Jonas Adu are perfect linchpins for a roster, right? I think adding Adu Thoreau as like your sixth or seventh guy to be a rotation piece, a big athletic wing, he's switchable, he can play the four, he can guard twos. Love that. I just, when you're filling those holes with freshmen that are, let's just face it, they're going to look like freshmen next year. They're not going to look like guys that are ready to play in the NBA. I'm a little bit worried about that.
You know what I'm worried? I'm worried they don't have a veteran point guard right now. That's what I'm worried about more than anything is Nelly Davis is more of a guy to be able to play off the ball than with the ball all the time. So if you go in, DJ Wagner, Nelly Davis, you got Adu, you got Thiero, who I thought was a great pickup for them. Absolute terrific pickup because, as I said, I don't know what Cal's system is, but Thiero knows it at least. And then you've got Z up front. Like your freshmen aren't going to be counted upon as much. They're just not. But again, to me, I don't know if like Wagner, if they get him with Nelly Davis, is the perfect backcourt for me.
Thanks for watching the Field of 68 After Dark. Make sure to hit that like button.